Triple H just revealed the identity of the masked man. WHO attacked Bron Breakker at the Royal Rumble, and the wrestling world is in absolute chaos right now. I am sitting here stunned, shocked, and absolutely furious at who was behind that mask at Saturday night's main event. This reveal is so controversial, so absolutely mind-blowing, that it's going to change everything we thought we knew about WWE's power structure, backstage politics, and the future of the company. If you're not already screaming at your screen right now, just wait until I tell you who Triple H exposed as the person who destroyed Bron Breakker's WrestleMania dreams. This is the kind of reveal that will be talked about for decades. The reveal happened just hours ago on a special Saturday night's main event Fallout segment that Triple H demanded be aired. The chief content officer walked out to that ring looking absolutely serious, no music, no fanfare, just pure business. Hunter got on the microphone and said that after a thorough investigation following the Royal Rumble at SNME, WWE security had identified the masked attacker through backstage footage, witness testimony, and forensic analysis of the attack itself. The tension in that arena was palpable as everyone waited to hear the name. And then Triple H dropped the bomb that has the entire wrestling world reeling right now. The masked man who cost Bron Breakker the Royal Rumble at Saturday night's main event, the person who destroyed one of WWE's brightest young stars' biggest moment, the individual who stole Breakker's WrestleMania opportunity was Gable Steveson. Yes, you heard that right. The Olympic gold medalist, the NCAA champion, the person WWE has been trying to build as their next big amateur wrestling crossover star, was the one behind the mask at SNME. The shock in that arena was immediate and intense. Fans were gasping, some were booing, others were just sitting there in complete disbelief. Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming. Gable Steveson has been positioned as a babyface, as someone with unlimited potential, as WWE's golden boy from the amateur wrestling world. And now Triple H is telling us that Steveson was the one who attacked Bron Breakker from behind like a coward at the Royal Rumble. The implications of this are absolutely staggering. But Triple H wasn't done with his revelations at SNME. Hunter then explained the motive behind Gable Steveson's attack, and this is where it gets even more controversial. According to Triple H, Steveson approached WWE management months ago demanding to be fast-tracked to the main event scene. Gable wanted an immediate push, wanted to skip NXT, wanted to be handed opportunities that other wrestlers spend years earning. When WWE told him he needed to develop his skills and pay his dues, Steveson apparently became bitter and resentful. Here's where the story gets twisted according to Triple H's explanation at Saturday night's main event. Gable Steveson saw Bron Breakker as everything he wasn't, a second-generation star who understood the business, who had the respect of the locker room, who was earning his opportunities through hard work and talent. Steveson's jealousy of Breakker apparently grew to the point where he decided to sabotage Breakker's Royal Rumble victory at SNME. If Steveson couldn't have the WrestleMania spotlight, then he was going to make sure Breakker didn't either. Triple H revealed at SNME that Gable Steveson had been planning this attack for weeks. The mask, the outfit, the timing, all of it was calculated to cause maximum damage to Bron Breakker's career while avoiding immediate detection. Steveson apparently believed he could get away with it, that WWE would never suspect their golden boy, amateur wrestling recruit of such a heinous act. But according to Hunter, multiple pieces of evidence pointed directly to Steveson, making the identification inevitable. The chief content officer then made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. Triple H suspended Gable Steveson indefinitely from WWE effective immediately. Steveson's contract is under review, and there's a possibility he could be fired from the company entirely. Furthermore, Triple H announced that Bron Breakker will be added to the WrestleMania World Championship match, making it a triple threat between the champion, Seth Rollins, and Breakker as compensation for being screwed at the Royal Rumble. But here's where fans are divided and absolutely furious about this entire situation. Many people are calling bullshit on Triple H's explanation. They think this is a cover-up, that Gable Steveson is being made a scapegoat to protect the real person who orchestrated the attack. Online forums are exploding with theories that Seth Rollins was actually behind everything and WWE is protecting him by blaming Steveson. The conspiracy theories are flying. Let's examine the evidence that doesn't add up in Triple H's story. First, Why would Gable Steveson, who has a guaranteed lucrative contract with WWE and a bright future ahead of him, risk everything to attack Bron Breakker? The risk-to-reward ratio makes no sense. Steveson had everything to lose and very little to gain from this attack. It's completely illogical for someone in his position to make such a reckless decision. Second, the timing of this reveal is extremely convenient for certain people. Seth Rollins benefits massively from Steveson being blamed because it takes all heat off of him. Rollins gets to go to WrestleMania as the Royal Rumble winner without the cloud of suspicion hanging over him. Meanwhile, a relatively unknown wrestler takes the fall. It's the perfect scapegoat situation, and fans aren't buying it. Third, let's talk about Gable Steveson's skill set. The masked attacker at the Royal Rumble executed moves with precision and experience that frankly, Steveson doesn't have yet. Steveson is an incredible amateur wrestler, but he's still green in terms of professional wrestling skills. The attacker moved like someone with years of experience, not someone who's barely been in WWE developmental. The physical evidence doesn't match up. Fourth, where's Gable Steveson now? Triple H claims he's suspended, but conveniently, Steveson hasn't appeared to defend himself, hasn't released a statement, hasn't been seen anywhere. It's very easy to blame someone who's not around to tell their side of the story. This feels like WWE controlling the narrative by silencing the accused before they can speak. The social media reaction to this reveal has been absolutely nuclear. #FreeGableSteveson started trending within minutes of Triple H's announcement. Fans are creating hashtags like #Steveson is innocent and #Triple H cover up, demanding the real truth. Wrestling journalists are digging into this story, trying to find contradictions in WWE's official narrative. The skepticism is at an all-time high. Here's what really bothers me about this entire situation: the message it sends to young talent in WWE. If the company is willing to throw Gable Steveson under the bus to protect their established stars and their WrestleMania plans, what does that tell other wrestlers? It says that if you're not in the inner circle, if you don't have the right connections, you're expendable. You can be blamed for things you didn't do to serve the company's agenda. Let's consider an alternative explanation that makes way more sense. What if Seth Rollins did orchestrate the attack, hired someone to do it, and when WWE's investigation got too close to the truth, they decided to protect Rollins by blaming Steveson? Rollins is a veteran, a multiple-time champion, someone with years of goodwill built up. Steveson is relatively new with no leverage. From a business perspective, sacrificing Steveson to protect Rollins makes perfect sense for WWE. Another theory gaining traction is that this is all a work, that Triple H, Steveson, Rollins, and Breakker are all in on this storyline. Maybe Steveson is being positioned as a mega heel who reveals he was hired by Rollins, creating a massive conspiracy angle. Maybe the suspension is just to keep Steveson off TV until the perfect moment for him to return and drop a bombshell. Wrestling fans have been conditioned to question everything, and this reveal has every hallmark of a worked shoot. The timing of adding Bron Breakker to the WrestleMania match is also suspicious. It's almost too convenient that Triple H makes this grand reveal and immediately announces a solution that benefits everyone except Gable Steveson. Breakker gets his WrestleMania moment, Rollins keeps his Rumble win, the champion gets a high-profile triple threat match, and only Steveson pays the price. It's too neat, too clean, too convenient. Here's what should happen if WWE actually cares about justice and truth. They should allow Gable Steveson to appear on WWE programming and tell his side of the story. Let him present evidence, let him call witnesses, let him defend himself against these accusations. But something tells me WWE won't allow that because they want this narrative controlled and contained. They don't want Steveson potentially exposing holes in their story. The locker room reaction is also fascinating and telling. Several wrestlers have subtly expressed support for Gable Steveson on social media through cryptic posts and likes. This suggests that people who actually know Steveson don't believe he's capable of this. Meanwhile, nobody is defending Seth Rollins or explicitly saying they believe WWE's official story. The silence from certain quarters speaks volumes. Let me present the evidence that actually points to Seth Rollins being involved despite this reveal. The masked attacker used a pedigree on Bron Breakker, a move associated with Rollins' history. The timing of the attack benefited Rollins more than anyone. The lights dimming was clearly coordinated with someone who has influence over production. All signs point to Rollins, yet we're supposed to believe Gable Steveson, a relative newcomer, orchestrated this elaborate plan. The financial implications are also worth considering. Gable Steveson has a multi-year guaranteed contract with WWE worth millions. If WWE suspends or fires him, they still owe him that money unless they can prove breach of contract. By publicly accusing him of this attack, WWE is creating the paper trail they need to potentially void his contract and save millions of dollars. Follow the money and you'll find the real motivation. What absolutely infuriates me is how this takes attention away from the real issue. Someone attacked Bron Breakker and cost him the Royal Rumble, and we still don't have the full truth. Whether it was Steveson, Rollins, or someone else entirely, WWE is controlling this narrative in a way that protects their WrestleMania plans and their top stars. The truth is being sacrificed for corporate convenience. Here's my bold prediction for what's really happening. Gable Steveson will be suspended for several weeks, during which time WWE will gauge fan reaction. If fans buy the story, Steveson returns as a mega heel aligned with whoever actually hired him. If fans don't buy it and keep demanding answers, WWE will quietly bring Steveson back and drop the storyline, hoping everyone forgets. Either way, the truth gets buried under layers of corporate spin. The wrestling business has always been about controlling narratives and working the fans, but this feels different. This feels like WWE is gaslighting their audience, telling us not to believe what we saw with our own eyes. The masked attacker's build, movements, and tactics all suggested someone with more experience than Gable Steveson possesses. But we're supposed to just accept Triple H's word and move on. Unacceptable. I want to hear your thoughts on this absolutely controversial reveal. Drop your comments below and tell me if you believe Gable Steveson was really the masked attacker or if this is a cover-up. Smash that like button if you think Seth Rollins was actually behind everything. Subscribe to Ring Rumble 1 with notifications on because we're going to keep investigating this story until we get the real truth. Do you believe Triple H? Is Steveson innocent? Was this all a work? What evidence are we missing? And most importantly, will WWE ever reveal what really happened at the Royal Rumble? Let me know everything you're thinking because this reveal has created more questions than answers, and the wrestling world demands the truth about who really attacked Bron Breakker.